Let's do it. So, hi everyone, and you are so welcome to Sister Sessions with myself, Laura, and my amazing sister, Karen.
Hi.
So we've created Sister Sessions to talk about everything from love, life, relationships, and career, both on the entrepreneurial journey, but also coming from the corporate world. So we are so excited to have you here. And we wanted to use our first session to really just talk and share about who we are and why we've set this podcast and why we are so excited to have you here and what we believe why we believe this is right for you to be listening to.
Excellent. Well, as Laura said, I'm Karen and I'm living in Dublin. I am a mother to a 1.5-year-old and I run my
Year-old.
What?
A very cute 1.5-year-old.
Yeah, he is. Sam. His name is Sam. He's very cute. And I am going into my 4th year running my own business, working for myself, which is great, challenging, great. And we will definitely talk about the process, all of that later on in some of our other sessions.
Yes.
But yeah, Laura, what I was going to say, do you want to just introduce what you're doing as well? A little bit about you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yes, so I'm Laura. I just turned 30 and also from Ireland, obviously, but living in London. And I've spent about the past decade studying and working within the finance industry across a couple of different areas. And so, what I'm really excited to have this podcast for is because I'm now moving from the corporate world into launching my own business with a focus around elevating and empowering women. So I think this is a perfect opportunity to share that journey and really learn from one another.
Absolutely. I think it's going to have a huge advantage to both of us actually bouncing off each other. I don't even think we really talk about things, business really before we just
No,
a lot about each other as well. And I think it's important just to kind of talk about where we've come from to where we are now and why we want to work for ourselves. My mug is just going to say that I'm not bossy. I just have better ideas. Probably one of the reasons I just want to work for myself. Just briefly about me, I suppose my background is actually in performing arts. When I was 19, I went to London, went to study theatre dance in London College in King's Cross. And from there, then I went on to travel the world, doing what I loved. And I did that basically on different platforms for about 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And you're 30 now, and I'm 35. You forgot how old I am. I think so. 5 years ago, I was coming to that point when I was nearly 30, and I was like, I was kind of, something was happening, don't know what it was, but I had this kind of thing where I needed to try something else.
Yeah.
I was kind of contract. I was doing tours, everything, which we'll talk about in another session. But just briefly to touch on what I'm actually doing now, I knew I wanted to work for myself. I think it's just something that's either in your blood or it's not. Do you know that kind of way? So anyone that's watching this, you have something in your blood that makes you want to work for yourself and be your own boss. And the process to where I am now, going into my 4th year, didn't start as planned. I had a totally different business plan set up. And so I think it's really interesting for anyone starting a business just to be open-minded that maybe your little route might go differently. To decide to do. And I think things that I'll just talk about is passion, to have a passion for the business that you're setting up. Do you see longevity within the business, your market, and who do you appeal to? And it basically, you are a representation of your own business. You are your business. So I think it's really important to have a little think about all those things for when you are setting up, which we will obviously, Laura, have to really.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's me in a little nutshell, going into 4th year in business. Only a small little business now.
Exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting. We're in a journey, on a journey.
Absolutely. Always, life is a journey, right? So here we go. Thanks, guys. What?
I was going to say, and you tell us like in a little nutshell about yourself as well.
Oh yes, so I studied finance university and have pretty much spent the past decade within that kind of area. Moving into different things and trying different opportunities, from forensic investigations to corporate turnaround. But I grew up in performing arts just like my sister Karen. So we've always had that kind of creative flair to us and our desire and need to be expressive. And so I found different ways to do that in the corporate world. I also had the opportunity to travel globally from Sydney to Singapore, Dubai, Delhi, all around Europe and further afield. Having breakfast with billionaires, rubbing shoulders with celebrities, royals. I sat on the board of an international shipping company. So really just phenomenal experiences. But reaching that kind of defining point of turning 30, I definitely felt this kind of something within inside me, right? This kind of calling or need to do more, to, I suppose, be more true to myself as to what life path do I really want to follow. And for me, that's very much around elevating, empowering, and educating women on creating incredible success in their lives and really living to their life purpose as well. And so that's why I've launched my business, and I'm now in the process of leaving the corporate world very soon, and actually really putting my full effort and focus into my business, which is a little bit scary, but also incredibly exciting. It's gonna be a completely new journey, and that's why I'm so excited about this podcast, because we will be sharing kind of firsthand the challenges, the triumphs that we're facing and experiencing as we go through it, and sharing like how we're coping, how we're dealing with it, and how we're overcoming it to like continue to move forward.
Yes, absolutely. And I think this is going to be really interesting for both of us, because we're not just, on here saying, well, this is where we're at now and talking about all our past experience. We're actually going through them right now, because both of us, like, I'm still really early stages of my business. You are like at the very beginning of yours. Although, Laura, if you ask me though, you've always had a passion for helping other women, empowering women, and you've done that kind of within your corporate world as well. So I'm sure that's definitely going to be helping you, on this path for working for yourself. Although I have to say hats off to you, because it's a really massive change to go from a kind of that security of your, I guess, in terms of money, you have your whatever way it's paid monthly or whatever, that paycheck, to now going into a whole other ball game of creating all of that yourself.
Yes, and
Yes.
also like you are now your own brand. You're not sitting behind the brand of like a global organization anymore. So as I said, like it's incredibly exciting. But yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of self-work I've had to do in that kind of journey as well, because it throws up a lot of fear and insecurity as you begin to take those steps.
Yeah, and I think what would be lovely is if anyone that's listening to this and watch this, would be lovely to actually hear of anyone else who's in the initial stages of setting up, what they're actually going into, their feelings by setting up a business, and maybe ask us some questions, how we feel, so to help each other. That'd be lovely to, I think, to hear from people as well.
Yes. So super excited to be doing this, super excited to be building our community and for you to be listening here today. So yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, it has been lovely to chat to you. Because this is a great opportunity for me and my sister to actually chat to each other as well, considering we don't live in the same place. So I'm excited for your journey, Laura. I think you're going to do absolutely amazing, and you also have my support.
You too.
So we look forward to hearing from other women as well, and also sharing our journeys.
Yay. So. All right, girl. We'll talk again soon on our next session.
Cheers, and I'll chat to you soon. Okay.
Bye. Talk to you soon. Bye.